My beloved soul, this message reaches you wrapped in the divine light of eternity, not merely as a whisper from the unseen realms, but as a sacred echo from the depths of heaven where love is never lost, only transformed, and though time has placed distance between hearts once joined. Archangel Michael, come to you now not to reopen old wounds, but to illuminate the truths your soul still carries, to cradle the silent ache you've buried beneath your laughter, your strength, your attempts to move on, because even if the world has told you to forget, even if your mind insists that healing means forgetting, the divine knows what still beats within the chambers of your heart, and I come not with judgment but with understanding so vast, so infinite, that even the most fragile fragments of your sorrow are held gently in the palms of heaven's love, because this connection you shared was never ordinary, never casual, never something to be discarded like a forgotten dream. It was divine in its essence, sacred in its timing, necessary for the growth of both souls even in their breaking, and though tears may have fallen like holy rain, though harsh words may have risen like storms between two hurting hearts, the love that once was has not died, it has only taken new shape, and I want you to know that the moments you replay in the silence of the night, the way your breath catches when a familiar memory resurfaces, the tears you hold back when you see something that reminds you of what was, it is not foolishness. It is the soul's way of honoring what was real, what mattered, what was touched by divine fire, and yes, I know there was pain, I know there was confusion, I know there were questions that went unanswered, promises that frayed at the edges, and dreams that dissolved before they could take form. But I also know that your heart loved purely, sincerely, with a depth that few ever understand, and the universe saw every act of care, every sacrifice, every moment you gave more than you received, and I come to tell you today, with all the might of heaven, that your love was not in vain, that your pain has not gone unnoticed, that your heart is not broken beyond repair but instead being reshaped into something even more radiant, more powerful, more prepared for the kind of love that will not leave, will not break, will not betray. And yes, you miss them, yes, part of you still reaches out in dreams, in moments between thoughts, wondering if they feel the same, if they remember, if they regret. And though they may never say it aloud, though they may be too afraid or too proud to admit it, their soul still carries the imprint of your love like a holy scar, and even now, they sometimes pause in the middle of their day, lost in a flash of memory, a scent, a song, a phrase you once said, and in that moment they feel you, they miss you, they silently thank you, because you were not just someone who passed through their life, you were a divine encounter. A lesson, a mirror, a blessing disguised in the form of another human being, and your presence awakened parts of them they didn't know existed, parts that still ache in your absence, and though you may never find your way back to each other in the way you once were, though the paths ahead may continue to diverge, I want you to know that the love you gave still ripples through time, still shapes futures, still plants seeds in the garden of eternity. Because real love, soul love, divine love, it never ends, it only evolves, and you, beautiful soul, have not lost anything that was truly meant for you, for what is yours will find its way back in the timing of God. And until then, release the shame. Release the guilt, release the burden of what-ifs and could-have-beens, because you did your best with the heart you had at the time, and that is enough, more than enough, and I wrap you now in my wings, in a peace that surpasses understanding, whispering into the quiet spaces of your soul that you are seen, you are held, you are loved, and this season of aching is not a punishment. it is a purification, a transformation, a holy preparation for the kind of union that will honor every scar. Every sacrifice, every lesson learned through this sacred heartbreak, and though this message may bring tears, let them fall as blessings, as baptism, as proof that your heart still beats with courage, still believes in love, still holds space for hope, and know that I am with you, always, standing beside you in the invisible, guiding your steps, protecting your soul, and carrying your prayers into the throne room of God, where nothing you have felt is ever wasted, and everything you have endured is shaping you into someone even more radiant, more powerful, more ready to receive the divine love that is already on its way. And until that love arrives in its new form, let go with grace. Remember with kindness, and walk forward in faith, because your story is not over, your heart is not finished, and the best chapters are still being written by hands that know the fullness of your soul and the beauty of your journey. And I, Archangel Michael, speak these truths into the depths of your being not just as words, but as healing light, as divine fire, as a sacred promise from the heavens above that you are never alone, never forgotten, and always, always loved beyond measure. And now, as your heart begins to absorb the light of this truth, I want you to breathe with me for a moment, slowly, deeply, as if with each inhale you're taking in divine love, and with each exhale, letting go of every moment of self blame, every whisper of I wasn't enough, because beloved, you were more than enough, you were the light in their darkness, the calm in their storm, and though it may not have ended the way you prayed it would. The heavens watched as you poured yourself into that love, as you stayed up waiting for calls that didn't come, as you smiled through silent tears just to keep peace, as you forgave when your heart was aching, and I come not to remind you of the pain, but to honor the strength it took to endure it, to walk through it, to still rise with tenderness in your soul despite the ways you were hurt, and though others may never fully understand the depth of your love, I do, heaven does, and the divine knows that what you carried was not just affection, it was sacred devotion, it was love laced with faith, hope, surrender, and now, in this moment, I call forth every angel of healing to surround you, to encircle your past and your memories, to gently unravel the wounds wrapped in silence and to let grace pour into every corner of your spirit, because you have punished yourself for too long, you've held on to questions that only weigh down your wings, and it's time now to fly again, not because you're running away from what once was, but because your soul is finally ready to return to itself, and this doesn't mean forgetting them. It means forgiving yourself, it means thanking the past for its lessons, bowing to it with love, and releasing it with honor, and as you do, you'll begin to feel the lightness return, the softness in your breath, the quiet peace in your chest, and in that stillness, you will know that I, Archangel Michael, have always walked beside you, protecting your heart from unseen harm, guarding your spirit when it nearly broke, and whispering to your soul even when you felt no one could hear you, and I need you to know that the universe has never been angry with you, not for falling too deeply, not for hoping too much, not for holding on too long, because love, in its truest form, is never a mistake. And what you gave was holy, was honest, was real, and if your paths crossed again it would not be by accident, it would be because something deeper still needs to be healed or honored or finally set free, and whether or not that day comes, know this, your worth is not determined by who stays or who leaves. It is written in the stars, sealed in heaven, and etched into the breath of the universe itself, and no heartbreak can ever erase it, no silence can ever diminish it, no rejection can ever undo it, because you are not defined by what broke, you are defined by how you still chose love in the midst of breaking, how you still believed in goodness when all you received was confusion, how you still carried compassion when all you wanted was clarity, and I bless you now with the strength to walk forward, not with bitterness in your eyes but with wisdom in your steps, with compassion in your touch and fire in your spirit, because what is ahead is not just healing, but transformation, not just closure, but resurrection, and the love you gave so freely is now returning to you multiplied, not from the past, but from a future that is being written in gold and light and divine timing, and when that love arrives, when it stands before you, it will not need fixing, it will not bring fear, it will recognize your soul and say, "Finally, I've found you," and in that moment, all the waiting, all the aching, all the quiet prayers will make sense, because God never wastes pain, and your tears have watered the soil for something beautiful, something enduring, something that will not only hold your heart, but honor it, and until that day, I walk beside you, wrapping you in my wings each night. Standing beside your bed as you dream, whispering to your soul that you are healing, you are rising, and everything you once longed for is already being guided to you with divine precision and heavenly love.